This episode is brought to you by Audi. The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV. It's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Hey, Fidelity. How can I remember to invest every month?
With the Fidelity app, you can choose a schedule and set up recurring investments in stocks and ETFs.
Oh, that sounds easier than I thought.
You got this.
Yeah, I do. Now, where did I put my keys?
You will find them where you left them.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
You're listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast, episode 211. Who is your favorite Disney BFF? Welcome to the Animation Addicts Podcast with the Rotoscopers, the #1 place to get your animation fix with animation addicts just like you. Each episode, we dive into the wonderful world of animation featuring Disney, DreamWorks, Pixar, and everything in between. From hilarious discussions and movie reviews to interviews with industry insiders, this show's mission is to brighten your day through our love of animation. So hop on your nerdy couch, grab some snacks, and get ready to hang out with your animation besties because it's time to dive into today's episode. Hello there, animation addicts. My name is Chelsea Robson, and I am here with my BFF, Morgan Stradling. Hey.
Hello, hello. I'm really excited to do this episode because Chelsea and I have been best friends for a really, really, really long time, since basically the 4th grade, maybe a little sooner, maybe a little after that, but we're going on 20 plus years at this point. So this was a perfect episode, and I'm really excited to dive into it.
It's kind of scary that you just said it's been over 20 years. Like I saw this thing on Facebook the other day. It's like, name someone that you have been friends with for over 20 years. I'll wait. And I'm like, oh geez, why are we so antagonistic about this?
You're so cynical about life and friendships.
I know. Like I have a lot of people that I continue to talk to. Definitely not BFF as much as I don't have a business with anybody else other than Morgan. But here we are.
Yeah.
So we had another patron question, and that question was, who is your favorite Disney BFF? This one was submitted by Rose. You noticed her on one of our last episodes as well. So if you're a patron, you can submit questions, and we can be like, hey, I want to answer that. So here we are.
And if you are a Diamond patron, you get to join us on the Nerdy Couch. So not only do you get to suggest what we talk about, but you get to insert yourself literally into the conversation. So consider becoming a patron at rotoscopers.com/patron. Join the club, join the fun. For example, we do have a new Diamond patron who I want to shout out. Her name is Katie Lee. So welcome aboard, Katie. We will meet you on the Nerdy Couch in a few months.
So when I thought about this question, I thought, Morgan and I, we were talking about different things like, oh, you mean like this person or this person? I'm like, I had a very, very specific rules that I decided on this this discussion.
All right.
Because there's so many pairs.
Yes.
Rule number 1. There are so many different pairs, and so it's hard to figure out what is the BFF. And so the first one that came to my mind was Nakoma from Pocahontas, and that's a very different relationship than say Abu and Aladdin. So I decided that okay, we got to make rules. And so here are the rules. So rule number 1, the best pairs are of the same species, but if they are not, then the BFF also has to have a speaking part and the BFF speaks the same language as the rest of the characters. So this is not a sidekick. Sorry, Abu.
That was a really roundabout way of saying no animal sidekicks.
No animal
They have to be the same species and they have to speak the same language. But
This is how I do things, okay? This is how I do things.
I love it. Okay, I like where this nerdy couch discussion's going today.
Second rule.
Take your plans out of the group chat and get long weekend ready in new Abercrombie. From day to night, pack new outfits for every part of your itinerary. Grabbing brunch? Throw on the A&F Mila dress. Then head to your dinner reservation in their new bubble hem mini dress. And yes, permission to overpack for pics with the girls. Abercrombie's best-selling Scarlet Squirt deserves a post in your feed. Your plans are worth it. Shop Abercrombie's new long weekend collection online or in store.
Business taxes. Was stressing about all the time and all the money you spent on your taxes.
This is my bill?
Now Business Taxes is a TurboTax small business expert who does your taxes for you and offers year-round advice at no additional cost, so you can keep more money in your business. Now this is taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com/business. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Rule number 2. Generally, the BFF is a peer and not a mentor or a parent. So, sorry, Jeannie, you are out of the picture. Number 3 is the BFF is always on the side of the protagonist. So, not a buddy film. Generally, buddy films are where the two people start on two opposite ends and then come together after an experience, and now they're friends at the end. So they're starting out friends.
So Buzz and Woody would not count.
Correct.
In Toy Story 1, but if I wanted to say Buzz and Woody in Toy Story 2, that does count.
That would work, yes.
I found a loophole.
That also could be said about Jessie too. So, but she would only be this with Woody because number 4 is it's never of love interest. So sorry, Jasmine.
Man. So who is Aladdin's friend? This poor guy. No BFF for him.
Actually, we actually do meet Aladdin's friend, but we don't meet him until the animated series. His name is Amal, and he was Aladdin's best friend, but he vanished when Aladdin and he were children, and he appears in the television series. So we're not going to go into those, though. We're just going to stick with the canon.
We should go back and watch the Aladdin television series because I loved that show.
I'd be down for that
show
actually.
But it was kind of, it ended and then they never really reran it. So I feel like I never got the opportunity to rewatch it. So we should totally do a rewatch of Aladdin, the television series, because
I'd be down actually.
All these things. Okay. Well, let's add that to our list.
That one, as well as the Little Mermaid TV show, wouldn't be too bad either.
Well, I thought you were going to say Bonkers. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to mind. So yes, I'd prefer the Little Mermaid TV series.
Like, these are just interesting little things that I remember from my childhood. So I'm like, that would be fun. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to go through a whole list of different people, of different pals. And we're going to see which ones are our favorites.
Okay.
We'll start it out with Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy. The original trio of best friends in the Disney pantheon. So we got them.
Okay, I'm maybe going to add another thing to your list, which is trios. Because trios typically always have like weird vibes, at least in real friendships. I know they exist and they work, but it's because of the odd number. I always feel like one of the two, the two of them end up pairing more than others, and there's always someone left out, or I don't know. So we'll consider that. But for Mickey Mouse and them, I don't know if I consider them like BFFs. Like when I think of like who is your best BFF, I know that's what they are, and they're always hanging out together, but they wouldn't have come to mind.
Okay, all right. It's in there though. So we have Pooh and Piglet.
Oh, yeah.
From Winnie the Pooh. So
now they are not the same species. One is a bear and one is a little piglet.
But once again,
they're animals.
They're all animals. They all speak the same language.
They're in the same animal kingdom.
And they all understand each other. So that's where my my rule number 1 comes in.
All right.
Robin Hood and Little John from Robin Hood.
Yes.
I am there for that. They're some of my favorites. I like them. They get their own theme song. They're just great. I like them. Mm-hmm. So Jock and Trusty are, I would say, the secret heroes of the Lady and the Tramp. So
yes,
they're good friends.
I like them. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be like on the top of my list, but I like them a lot.
So how would you feel about Bambi, Thumper, and Flower?
I don't like it. I don't like the trios for some reason. I don't know why it bothers me. I just don't like it.
So would you just cut out Flower? Okay.
Well, no, because they're all friends. With all 3 of them. Like they're always all together. But yeah, they are friends. I don't like it still.
Okay. All right. We have Baloo and Mowgli.
No, they're not the same species.
But they speak the same language.
This your rules don't line up, Chelsea.
What do you mean?
They can't speak the same language, and they can't be because Abu speaks English.
So we'll go through the rules again. Okay, the best pairs are of the same species, but if they aren't, the BFF has to have a speaking part, and the BFF speaks the same language as the rest of the characters.
Okay. I thought I misread that. Well, no. I mean, I understand they are BFFs, but he abandons him at the end for the girl. It's
okay.
They become close, but they're not BFFs forever.
Okay,
in my mind.
All right, so here's one that I personally like: Rotfert with the Aristocats.
Ooh, why do you pick him?
I pick him because I kind of put the Aristocats all in one bundle. You know, basically, he was always friends with Duchess. Let's just say, Duchess and kittens. Okay, he's just friends with Duchess. Because obviously she's not going to eat him because she doesn't need to. And, they're friends. And he's the one that it's like, Duchess and kittens in trouble. Like, he actually goes after them. He puts himself in danger. He goes after and tries to find. I feel like he's always got their back. And he puts himself in danger, like I said. So. Mm-hmm. All right. And then, as I mentioned prior as well, Nakoma to Pocahontas.
Yes. These are the best type of BFFs. Like, obviously, friends come in all shapes and sizes and ages, but I love when they're kind of like the same age. They're growing up together, and, they are both these young women and in the same stage of life. And Nakoma, she really does what she thinks is best for Pocahontas, which ends up killing Kocoum at the end. Not so cool, but she's cool where she, helps Pocahontas escape, when she needs to slip away. So she's in it with Pocahontas for sure.
Okay. All right. So the next one we got is PJ, Pete, and Max from a Goofy movie.
I love them. They're good friends.
I love them. They're right up there.
PJ.
They're trying to help each other. All good things.
Yes. And what's great about them is that PJ, he isn't pretentious. Like, clearly he comes from money and Max doesn't, but they're still together. They're still like best friends. They just hang out. They love each other for who they are and embrace and accept each other for that way. And they're cool. And I'm specifically, like you said, specifically in a Goofy movie is when I think the most of their relationship, just because I haven't gone back and watched Goof Troop recently.
Right. So I really like them. I just want to also... I feel like I need a little bit of like pat on the back. I went through every single film and I found out. All right, who are the friends that would meet my list? And also, I had to separate out, the buddy film people too. So it was like, okay, I did a lot of searching. So this is the list that I came up with. All right, the next one is going to be Tiana and Charlotte.
Oh, yes. That has to be one of the best top on the list. They are best friends. They've always been best friends. We see their relationship since they were little and they grow up. And, Charlotte's there for Tiana and Tiana's there for Charlotte. Again, it's kind of like the PJ Maxx thing. There's obviously different class and status, but that doesn't matter to them. They are there for each other and they care about who they are. I love it. I love Charlotte. because Tiana's the main character, right? And so who is Tiana's friend? And you see her through that lens, and I'm like, oh, I need a friend like Charlotte. She's just her cheerleader. She's excited for her. She's great.
She's also got her own stuff going on, so it's like, you know, you're both doing your thing, but you're excited for each other. You know, it's a good place.
Totally.
Now, the next one I have on the list is Frozone and Mr. Incredible.
Ooh, yeah, they're good friends. You know, they hang out. They're listening to the police scanners together. They used to be superheroes in the olden days, in the good days, right? So yeah, I like them. They're a cool little duo. And Frozone is always there for Mr. Incredible. You know, like in the second one, he's like, hey, you guys don't have a home, like live with us. Like he's no big deal. Yes, I understand you have 2 kids and a baby and it's gonna be super loud and annoying, but he doesn't care. Like, yes, come in our home, be a part of our home. And that doesn't end up working that way, but the offer was made. And it's because they really are friends.
Yeah, I get, yeah. All right, so this one, it may be on your I don't know list. Yao, Ling, and Chi and Po with Mulan. So this is a foursome. And this, I will have to say that there was a little bit of a different, another list that I could have made that is the welcome to our group kind of friendships. The I Have a New Group of Friends movies, which I put like Oliver and Company, Big Hero 6, those types of movies on there. So that's how I separated those out. So I didn't know if this one would go with this or with that one, but this is what I came up with.
Okay.
What do you think?
They are BFFs. I mean, I feel like those 3 feel like closer friends. Like they're all friends. I get it, but like I when I always think about it, like because she's a girl and they're a guy. I'm not saying girls and guys can't be friends, but like I always imagine the trio being the friends, and Mulan was their friend, but not their BFF. Because I love those 3.
Yeah, I think I'm going to move them into the I Have a New Group of Friends movies. And we can retouch on that one later, see how they do in that stacking. Okay. Great. So the next one I have is Flounder and Ariel. And I know you're going to be like, hey, you know, different species, but once again, it goes back to all under the sea.
No. Yes, this one I agree with absolutely, because we see them working together. They're trying to get the Dingle Hopper. He basically covers for her just like Nakoma did. He is a friend and she is his friend for sure. I love it. They are great BFFs.
Okay. So also, you know, if Ariel didn't get Flounder in this one, I could have said and waited till the TV show because she does have a best friend named Gabriella, is one of Ariel's friends. And Gabriella is a deaf mermaid with a pink tail and matching shells. She communicates with sign language and appears in 2 episodes, Wish Upon a Fish and Ariel's Treasure. So I remembered her growing up. I was like, she had a best friend. No, I remember. So I had to include her on this just to let you guys know.
Nice. Cool.
The next one. And I'm leaving Sleeping Beauty out of this trio and just sticking with Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. Yeah. How does this work with your little trio list?
Okay, well, definitely Aurora out is good because they're more of like a parent figure to her.
Right.
Not on BFF status at all. As far as the 3 of them, they are all friends and they've chosen to, they're always seen together. They're living together. They're, you know, raising a child together. So definitely pretty good friends. Not high on my list, but this is a trio that qualifies.
Okay. Okay. Now this one, it's Pixar, but, you know, Disney Pixar, same thing. Sully and Mike.
Yes.
Monsters,
of course.
Inc. I think they're, you know, even, and I'm talking about Monsters, Inc., not Monsters University, because the Monsters University would be considered a buddy film.
Of course.
Okay, here's a different one. Joy and Bing Bong. Aw, to me, this one is just like, I just remember Bing Bong, and he was one of my favorite parts of Inside Out, and so that's kind of why I put him on there. So to me, I would put him up there.
You would include it. Okay. I don't think I would include it, but yeah, I'll give you that one. This is your list after all.
Well, we're gonna go through and we're gonna take our top and kind of like compare and see who we would go with. So, like I said, the welcome to I have a new group of friends with the Big Hero 6. I left the 6 out, but Tadashi and Hiro. I see like, yes, Tadashi has a bit of a father type role in the fact that he's just the bigger brother, so a little bit of the mentor. But it's hard to say that he's not also a best friend, because
you can be best friends with siblings.
I think so as well, because I have all of my siblings as best friends. So. All right,
love it. Yeah, keep them. Tadashi.
Would you add them to the higher list?
Yes, I would.
Okay. All right. So the next one is from Finding Dory. We have Destiny the whale and Dory. I thought their relationship was super cute. You had Destiny who taught her how to speak whale through the vents. Yeah. And I was like, that's cute. Like, hey, Dory. So, I mean, I thought that was cute. I don't know if I would put them up on my highest list, but it was a worthy inclusion.
I agree.
All right. This was one that I wasn't quite sure whether or not I should add. But from The Great Mouse Detective, Basil of Baker Street with Dr. David Q. Dawson. The reason why I didn't know if I would include this one is because they didn't start out, from the very beginning, they didn't know each other. But it was off to the races the moment they came into each other's paths.
And it's a working relationship. So just because we're together all the time and we do have a good relationship and we have a good time, does that make you BFFs? So is this just more coworkers, on the case?
That's true.
On the trail? Or are they best friends?
I think that's probably
they're more coworkers, but they're very close.
Yeah.
I feel like when work hours are done, are they hanging out?
I mean, probably. but it's I don't feel like either of them ever have non-work hours.
Oh man, what a life.
They're living their passion, and so every moment that you're living your passion is a work hour. So I feel like that's kind of they have the same goals in mind. So I don't know, I feel like it's a friendship, it's an inclusion, but probably not the top of our list. Okay, next one. Launchpad and Scrooge McDuck from the DuckTales. I don't know. I'm not sure where this was going to go.
Scrooge, just by his nature, isn't very friendly.
That's true. Yeah.
But in DuckTales, is he more so? They wouldn't be an initial group that I would think of. They're definitely friends, but BFFs? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So Wilbur the albatross and the rescuers in the Rescuers Down Under.
He's a friend. I don't know if he's a BFF because again, there's a little trio action going on. Those two are way closer to each other, being romantically paired, than they'll ever be with him. So the triangle, the balance of power is not equal.
That's true. Okay.
Even though the balance of power would totally be equal, with Bambi, Thumper, and Flower, it doesn't seem to be that one favors one over the other, but yeah.
Okay. So how about Timon and Pumbaa?
100%. Oh yeah.
Right up there. Okay.
Yes, they love each other. They are in it. They work together. They sing together. They've gone through thick and thin, hard times.
Would you put them on your top list on the?
Yes, absolutely, for sure.
Okay, good. Go ahead and add them. That's true. Okay, Turk and Tantor from Tarzan.
Oh yes, I think so.
I mean, they're kind of more of the same than I would put them in the trio with Tarzan. Yes, they're Tarzan's in their trio, but I still think that they're more on the same level than when you add Tarzan into the mix.
Yeah.
All right. And then this one is Zini and Aladar from Dinosaurs. He was the monkey.
Yes. I can't even remember this film, to be honest.
All right. So he's not on our list.
I know who you're talking about, but I'm just oof, I got to brush off the cobwebs. No comment, no opinion. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Now, here was an honorable mention. It was Peter Pan and Tink. While Tink does speak in her movies, she is only understood by Peter in this movie. So that's kind of why I didn't know if I should include her in this. Mm-hmm. But maybe if it's just their own little world.
I mean, she doesn't speak because that's her thing. It's because someone... she communicates, but it's just her quirk that she doesn't necessarily have a speaking role.
So you would add
they're
her?
Best friends.
Okay.
I'd add her.
Would you add her as the top of who would be your BFF on that list of possibilities?
I'd add her. I don't know if they'd be number one.
Okay. All right. So there we go. Okay. Now we're going to take this list and we're going to do two things. One, we're going to say our top 3 or 4, or however many, 3 to 5. And then we're going to ask, who would be your BFF? And I'm going to go for and show and give you a few of what the patrons were saying. So Chad, he said that his number 1 would be Flounder and Ariel. Number 2 would be Tiana and Charlotte. Number 3, Pooh and Piglet. 4, Rotefort. And 5 is Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. And he feels like Charlotte would be his BFF because they both have the same amount of energy. And I've loved that answer. So next, Jonathan North, he said that this is something he's never thought about before, but he made the list for fun. And in no particular order, he said Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, Yao, Ling, and Chiem Po, Turk and Tantor, Sully and Mike, and Ariel and Flounder. And then he says that he would get along most with either Merryweather or Chiem Po, but he could probably use a friend like Turk to get me out of my comfort zone once in a while.
I love it.
I know.
That's awesome.
Okay. And then we have Josella. She said her top 5 are number 5, Sully and Mike. Number 4, Piglet and Pooh. Number 3, Yao, Ling, and Chiem Po. Number 2, Joy and Bing Bong. And 1 is Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. And she said that Jock and Trusty for her BFFs because they're loyal and supportive. All right. So Morgan, who are your top 5 duos?
All right. So in no particular order, I'm just going down the list. PJ and Max, Tiana and Charlotte, Flounder and Ariel, Sully and Mike, and Timon and Pumbaa. Although I do want to include Robin Hood and Little John too. So that's 6. And if I were to pick one, for sure, I would pick Charlotte LaBouffe because she is such a cheerleader, so encouraging, and she just wants the best in her best friend. And who wouldn't want someone like that?
There you go. All right. So mine are going to be Robin Hood and Little John, Nakoma and Pocahontas, because she was the very first one I thought of when I thought of best friends. PJ and Max, for sure. So it's 1, 2, 3. Number 4, I'd probably say Tadashi and Hiro. And then next, I would probably say Timon and Pumbaa. So those are my top 5. And I think, I have a hard time not wanting to just like hang out with Robin Hood and Little John. So that's what I would say.
Nice. Cool.
All right. So we want to know what are your guys' answers. So head on over to our Instagram and let us know who are your top lists and who would be your BFF. Let us know in the comments. Also, you can go to rotoscopers.com/211.
You can get the full list there, you can get the full list there in our show notes. So thank you, Chelsea. That was a lot of work. Thank you so much for putting this list together. I feel like we need a part 2 of this. Our next Nerdy Couch discussion, or a future one, we should do the best buddy films and we should rank them. Because you've already done all the work right there. So,
I already have done the work. And I've also done
so we're going to do that.
I have the new Group of Friends movies. So we'll do that as another one.
Okay, perfect. So those will be in future. I know we said in a past episode, hey, we're going to do our favorite Disney hero and hunk. But that ended up being replaced by, Disney animated dads or our Disney dads getting hotter, right? So we will get to that one eventually. Don't worry, guys. Yes.
Well, the thing is, like, to do this, I do have to go through every single movie and like find who is who. So that's what happened. It was this is how I spend my Saturdays, Morgan.
It's a lot of work
coming up.
But I love it. Hey, Disney. It makes for a great nerdy couch discussion with my BFF. Aww.
Yay! Aww. All right. Until next time, we are the Rotoscopers.
That's what friends are for.
Bravo, bravo.
You've been listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and be sure to leave us a 5-star review. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts.
And if you want to help spread the word, be sure to share the podcast with your friends on social media. Just don't forget to tag us at Rotoscopers on Instagram and use the hashtag Animation Addicts. For all the links and full show notes for this episode, go to rotoscopers.com/podcast. Now, if you still can't get enough for your animation fix, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and visit rotoscopers.com for more animation news, reviews, and interviews. Thanks for listening.